we go again, arguing about things that um, we don't really have a conclusive evidence or science to dictate one way or the other. So why argue about it? It's because people, well, they like arguing about things. They rather argue about a problem than actually work to solve the problem. Well, does arguing about a problem make the problem more pronounced? Does it make it go away? No, not really. It is a good method to identify a problem though, especially if you never knew one existed. Arguing about a problem is necessary because through argument, you might find creative means to solve the problem. So there should be a robust argument, fierce argument, fierce debate. It's always needed. It's always mandated. And, it makes both sides better. But then once the argument is concluded, which all arguments eventually have to be concluded, or else you just argue in perpetuity, which is no fun for any side involved. Once the argument is completed and concluded, well then you have to get off into the nitty-gritty business of actually fixing the problem that was identified and argued about. Well, it seems like we're stuck. We're stuck in place. We can't really get to the problem to fix it because we're still arguing. Nobody wants to conclude the argument. Nobody wants to concede the argument. Nobody wants to say, well, the argument is settled. Everybody wants to say the argument is settled, but settled by their point of view. And can two things be true conversely at the same time that are opposite of each other? Yes and no. Two things can be true that are opposite of each other, but you have to agree that that's the case. And we can't agree to that to be the case either, because, well, in order for that to be true, somebody would have to concede a little bit. And nobody wants to give ground. Nobody wants to say, you have a fair point there, and you can have this, and over here you can have that, and then have a nice evening. No, people just want to argue in perpetuity. And that's a problem. That's a real problem, because we can't fix the problem. And here it is. Here it is, 2021. And we have more problems that can be fixed than arguments that need to be, well, quashed, nipped in the bud. You see, we've got a whole slew of arguments. That means we've got a whole slew of problems. But if everybody wants to keep arguing about all the arguments, we never get to fix any of the problems that we've argued about. So, here's my thing. Let's have a little bit more argument time. Let's present our best case. Let's have our greatest debaters come up and give debate. Make their stand. Let's have people fight it out in the best ways possible, the least amount of violence. And once this argument is finally concluded, well, let's get over to fixing it. Because after all, we're going to just continuously argue about the problem. We can never fix it.